I run the MA in creative writing for distance learning students, and I also run the PhD programme, which has a very strong distance learning component now. I think it's hugely important for writers in particular to have international connections. Literature has become globalised, literature in English, and there's a whole sense now that writers in different parts of the world are writing from completely different cultural perspectives, but in a common language. And I think that the process is hugely enriched when those students come together through the kind of distance learning processes that we offer them. In a sense, distance is a real misnomer for the instantaneous contact that distance learning can bring now through new technologies. So I think it's transformed a sense of the university that Lancaster now, although it's located here in the northwest of England, in a fairly empty part of the map if you look at centres of population, in terms of its global reach, Lancaster can be anywhere. Creative writing in developing countries has a much more vital dimension than is obvious from here in the UK. Writers in Africa believe that creative writing is an agency for social change. So there is a really strong sense that the new leadership in Africa, that some of the most prominent moral leaders are actually not politicians but writers, and that those writers are trying to form a new kind of agenda for the societies that they live in.
My first interaction with Lancaster was with Graham Moore and Sarah Maitland. They came to Uganda in 2003 after starting up a Crossing Borders writing project, and they started with Uganda. So I was on the second scheme. So I had an advantage then. And then I was looking for places to do my master's in creative writing. So I looked at universities in the US, universities in the UK, and I remembered Lancaster has a really good university and they offer 2 international scholarships. So I wrote the best application I could, and I guess they bought it, so that's why I'm here.
In a sense, what we're offering here at Lancaster has evolved alongside with the need of those students. In many ways, those individual students actually shaped the programmes here, and they were telling us what their needs were through their applications. And those applications are often very eloquent and moving testaments to the kind of work we're doing here at Lancaster, and the sense that they want to be part of this global community now that we've established through this creative writing process.
Now there's a current explosion of writers that are coming out of the continent that are really good, and they need more spaces like this to just hone their craft, and just, the world should read what's coming out of Africa right now.
What's interesting about the way our courses work is that we bring together writers from those countries who might be funded, through an overseas scholarship, and much more affluent writers who may be in the United States or Canada. And something very interesting begins to happen when those students come together in online conferences and begin to exchange perspectives, again, through the medium of English, but from these very different cultural viewpoints.
People like Graham Moore and the Transcultural Writing Centre are already affecting massively people who live in countries that are way, way far from Lancaster. What we can do is we can support those students from countries where they couldn't possibly afford to access our resources, allow them to work with our staff to develop their own skills, and they can take that back to their own communities.
I think our key innovation has been in the use of distance learning, and I think in really trying to redefine what we mean by distance. So it's been the use of new technology harnessed to a process where students and tutors don't actually meet and see each other, but actually imagine each other very much the way in which readers imagine characters through literature. So there's a very strong connection for us between the way these courses are organised and the way that we imagine Lancaster, and the way that literature itself works for readers and writers.
I feel so many things. First of all, I feel like this is the beginning of something new. I can never go back to where I was. I've opened a new chapter in my life. Like, the journey is taking a new, exciting direction.
It's like open up a whole new vista for me, and it's a new beginning, and it's amazing. Actually, it's amazing. It's changed a lot of things, basically, and I think it's something I would want every writer back there to experience, because when you experience it, it affects your writing in ways you yourself will not conceive. You've never conceived, basically.